Hey everybody, this is Niall and Alex with the Drive Home Reviews.
And we are leaving the movie Warfare. It was by Alex Garland. Neil just told me he's the guy who did 28 Days Later.
Yeah, and there was another guy, but it was Will Poulter was the main actor in it.
One of the main ones.
Well, it was an infantry troop in Iraq.
And it's based on a true story. I think in 2006. I like Black Hawk Down, like as a war movie, probably more. But it kind of gave me that same feeling of anxiety.
Yeah, lots of anxiety.
And you're rooting for these guys, but it's also cool to see the relationships of these soldiers. It was a U.S. Marine operation, but the Navy SEALs were called to help with this. And that camaraderie amongst the soldiers.
Camaraderie.
Yeah, it's really cool. Niall will tell you he was in the Army.
Yeah, that's the thing is watching those movies, it makes me kind of miss the military, but when you see all the chaos and stuff, I also feel lucky that I never had to go through that.
There was a few gory parts in the film.
It really focused a lot on like the casualty evacuation and medical evacuation. That's kind of the primary thing behind it. It was just intense, the pain that these guys are going through as this is all happening.
Yeah.
And then like at the end, it kind of, throughout the movie, you get that sense of kind of what that war was like, just going in and destroying these towns. And
they just chose a house, and there's like 2 families living there, and it was destroyed.
I mean, if you were to tell it from their perspective, can you imagine us just being in bed at night and soldiers coming and just tell you to be quiet, and the next thing you know, your building's getting shot up and the roof blown off? It was definitely intense. I mean, it had me on the edge of my seat.
Same, I jumped at one point.
Yeah, when that anti-tank missile hit.
Yeah, I thought it was an IED.
No, they shot something at it.
Oh, because they said it was an IED in the movie.
They did?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was.
That's why they couldn't come get them initially.
No. That they couldn't bring in the reinforcements, or they couldn't bring in the casualty evacuation because there were IEDs on the last people that tried.
Something that I thought was really cool is the communication between all the different teams, like just like talking to the people in the air, talking to people on the ground, talking to the troops next door, and like the guy who has to figure out like we're 2 kilometers away from this.
Yeah.
And I think that's really interesting and brilliant.
Yeah, those guys train together and work together. And that's the thing, this is based on, a true story. It says it's told strictly from their memories of the events. And, in the beginning, there's like this real, like, intense silence that's kind of going on. Like, all those quiet parts of the mission, and you just keep waiting for something to happen, and then definitely some shit goes off.
Yeah, it has you on the edge of your seat, but there were some parts where I'm like, okay, like let's get the reinforcements and get on with it.
And I don't know, also just like all the stupid things that happen in reality, like every time they kept stepping on that guy's leg, I was like, but that is how it would happen.
Yeah.
All the acting was good. I mean, there seemed like a lot of fresh new faces, people I didn't recognize except for a few, and they had me believing.
Yeah, the acting was amazing. I would give it an 80%. And I would recommend people to watch it. I might watch it again.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 93, and I would give it a 93. I definitely recommend watching it. It was, especially if you're into war movies. This is one of the better war movies, especially one of the better war movies told about the invasion in Iraq.
Yeah. It's super realistic, and it, like Niall said, it's based off their memories.
And it's kind of interesting to see us go through this round of things. We have all these movies about Vietnam, and now we're getting
World War
about
II.
this.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more to come. I know whenever they use real Bradleys, it looked like whenever they get these, they have to work with the military,
Yeah.
and the military approves the scripts and has things changed.
Yeah.
So it's definitely told from an American perspective.
I definitely would recommend to go watch it.
Yeah. That's our review.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.